Hey, everybody. It is the Schick Show Wednesday edition with our friend Steve Hurd. It's Steve Hurd Wednesday on Wednesday.
No.
It was Velcro.
See, and I hate you said you didn't want to talk about it, but I do. Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Zach Edey. What
He's going to Toronto,
I
man.
respect Zach Edey.
I do too.
I don't like him.
Why?
Well, because I'm a Hoosier.
Oh, Lord God.
Yeah.
Listen, I spend a lot of money at Ball State. I'm still not rooting for the Cardinals. I want to.
Believe me, 90 grand at IU is
insane.
I've been an IU fan since I was born.
Well, now you're paying for it.
Huh?
Now I am. Now you're literally paying for it.
What a bill that is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
What if Zach Edey played at IU?
I'd love him.
That's it.
I'd love him. I don't like, and everybody knows this. I don't like anything Boilermaker.
Okay.
If a Boilermaker cuts me off in traffic, yeah, go figure. It's a Boilermaker.
And here's my question, and I've always wondered this because I'm a Notre Dame football fan.
And an IU basketball fan?
No, I'm a Duke basketball fan.
A Duke?
I've never once spent a dime at Duke University going to a class there. I have no ties to it. I'm not from North Carolina.
How
I'm
do you
from
become it?
Indiana. I'm not Irish,
Yeah.
but I like Notre Dame football. I'm a bandwagon fan.
Yeah.
I've never went to.
Well,
I've been to a lot of Notre Dame
first off,
games, but
You grew up under Coach K.
yeah,
Coach
absolutely.
K is an amazing human being, a Vietnam veteran. I mean, there's a thousand things a thousand reasons why I could be a Duke fan.
Yeah.
I still have yet to find one reason why I could be a Purdue fan.
Okay.
But as far as the Four Horsemen, the history behind, you're a history guy,
That's
right?
it. Yeah, I mean that's it.
And that's why I love Notre Dame football. I love watching Notre Dame football. I've been to a Notre Dame game. I love the history of the cathedral and the Grotto.
Oh man, it's
The history of the
Beautiful
school in
place.
general. Rudy went there, and then they made a movie about the guy. I mean, I could give you a million reasons why I love Notre Dame football. But the reason that I'm an IU fan, I have no idea.
that's so interesting to me.
I just know that I have been an IU basketball fan since the day I was born. And that's probably not true, but growing up in Marion, I lived through 86, 87, 88, three state championships back to back to back
Yep.
with the greatest high school basketball coach to ever live, Bill Green.
Yep.
Grew up, I idolized Bill Green. And I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I remember getting a message in school that said, hey, Bill Green is coming to speak at Jones Junior High School, Jones Middle School. I thought it was going to be Bob Knight. That was the first day that I knew that Bill Green and Bob Knight weren't the same guy.
That's so awesome.
I walked to that in the evening, in the middle of winter. I walked to that just to hear Bill Green speak because I thought it was Bob Knight.
And you got something better.
And then when I got there, he was talking about Marion Giants basketball. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, my name's Bill Green. And I was like, wait a second. Who's Bill Green? I thought Bob Knight was the coach of
Marion
basketball.
Oh, that's so
But
interesting.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong on my history, but Indiana won 3 state championships around 86, 87, 88. Maybe it was 87, 88, 89.
You mean national championships? They won in 87, not since then.
Is that right? So was it 85, 86? I thought they had won 3 that were in the 80s.
The 70s were the big
I thought it was
big banner years.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
So-
the 70s. Kemp
and
Benson. and,
Ever since then,
Yeah.
I've still been an IU fan. I just can't get away from it.
Buckner and there was yeah, but not since '87. They haven't They haven't
struggling.
produced a national championship since '87.
They're struggling.
Yeah.
You know when the last time Purdue won?
They haven't.
That's right, they haven't.
they
And
haven't.
I want to keep letting them know.
You know when the last time they were relevant?
Oh,
Oh man, that was hard.
yeah, that was.
I kind of do that to Eastbrook folks too. When I talk about how many banners they have for football.
They don't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I hate that because I don't have a beef with
I know.
Eastbrook folks.
I
But boy,
have friends that live
Adamson's
over there.
incredible, man. What a
Adamson
great.
is amazing.
All those guys over there, I have a
Just
ton
can't
of
seem
respect
to
for 'em.
get over.
I know,
the
and I
peak
hate
of
saying
that
things
hill.
like that was not nice. I apologize.
But it's still, that's what makes.
We got a couple of them here at Blackford.
I love rivalries.
Yeah, I mean they were in the '70s.
Who cares when they
but
were?
They exist,
Yeah. Who cares?
and they're not going
It
anywhere.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know who holds the most national championships in NCAA history for basketball?
No, I don't, because it's not who we would think of.
I don't know. It might be
Are you talking about NCAA?
NCAA
okay.
national championships.
Yeah, I don't know.
UConn
Is it UConn is it 8 or 9?
10
10 in men's or men's and women?
men's.
'Cause how many women's do they have?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like 75 in women's.
Paige Bucher and
Ridiculous.
oh yeah, they're
Holy
they're
crap.
amazing. I don't know how that guy obviously is good at what he does.
Oh my!
I don't even know who
God,
he is,
man.
but the teams that he
Gino
puts
is
together.
incredible. Love that guy. He's
And now that I've gotten us way off track,
well, and I'm a huge fan of Danny Hurley and the Hurley family. I mean, boy,
Hurley
talking
with
about
what
a
he did
dad
this
with
year.
726 state championships. He has more state championships than he's been alive for.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like that dad, there was a documentary made
Yep.
about him, and then imagine sitting. Here's how I imagine this whole thing playing out with Danny and Bobby sitting at dinner together, like Thanksgiving dinner, and Bobby continues to poke at his little brother about, we won a couple in a row at one time, right? I just wasn't sure if I mentioned that.
Just wasn't sure. Yeah,
I've been to a few national championships
Oh, yeah.
myself. We've won 2 in a
Could you
row.
imagine being a part of
And
that
now-
family? Could you imagine being a part of that family and not being a coach?
Dude, I bet there is competition over the last scoop of potatoes. It would be insane.
Right?
It would be fun to just sit and watch.
Yeah.
It would annoy the crap out of most people, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I bet they're having the time of their life.
love reality
When they leave
TV.
there, their wives are like, "Will you please never do that again?" And then they're like,
Will you
"What? What are you talking about?" Because they're super high strung. And then when they're getting ready to go into that next, from Thanksgiving and Christmas, you remember? Remember, you
Yeah.
said you weren't going to do it this time. You remember that?
We're gonna take it easy this time.
hits the door lock on the car. You remembered that.
You remember?
We are not, say it with me, we are not going to get in a fight with our brother
Over mashed potatoes.
over peas and mashed potatoes. And one of them hits the door like Bobby or Danny hitting the door like, got it.
Got it.
Nope, no.
No.
And the kids are sitting in the
Bring
back.
it back.
Mom.
How do those generational issues or
Dude.
those generational competitions stop?
They don't.
When do they stop?
They don't.
Like at what generation? Eventually, a kid is going to go, oh my
I
God,
hope they don't.
I'm so tired of my dad and my uncle fighting over mashed potatoes. I'm never going to do that. And then they don't fight over mashed potatoes.
My brother and I go golf,
Yeah.
and we rip on each other, and we're both terrible. We're terrible golfers. We play military golf, left, right,
Left, right, huh?
We're digging. We come away with more balls than we started with because we're always looking for ours, and we find everybody else's.
Sure.
And we still will dig at each other over a shot, but then we congratulate each other over a good
Yeah.
shot,
Yeah.
But there's still competition going there. He sends me stuff on my phone about, what do you think of that? And I'll say, oh, that's kind of cool. And he'll go, wouldn't help your game. Dude, I'm 50. You're 60. You're 60 years old. Come on, man.
That's great. I love that. I love that.
And
I try to do that with Peyton, and it just doesn't work.
it's harder with your kids.
My kids are not competitive.
Jennifer, oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are.
No, because
I've been
Alexa
around her.
wins.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and
Peyton
Peyton just doesn't care.
Do you think that's his way of winning, though?
Maybe,
I mean, that's a smart play.
maybe. I mean, Peyton's got a smart ass mouth.
Right. I mean, that's a smart
But
play.
so does Alexa.
Well, they both-
Alexa's even worse.
Like, I get it.
But when it comes to,
That's a smart play.
yeah, I think it is. So, and that's what I was wondering. When does, at what, because I was always competitive. My brother was always better at everything than me. And then I went into the Marine Corps and competition kind of stopped. Like, we would go golfing and I would just go golfing just to hang around him, because I love hanging out with my brother. And I don't want it to be a competition. I just want it. I don't care how I golf.
That's kind of how we are, but we still rib each other.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
I still rib my brother on
We don't
occasion,
even keep
but
score.
yeah, my brother. See, then that's the thing. My brother is 100 times better at golf than I am. I could never get to the level that my brother.
Oh,
is
sure you could.
at golf. No,
Listen,
my brother is almost a scratch golfer.
like truly, because
Yeah,
a lot of
Truly.
people say that,
No.
and then I see them off in the rough,
no.
like I did a couple of people the other day. I won't mention any names, but he's a listener.
Oh,
And when I saw them, he knows I saw him.
yeah.
Just think of those chicken wings, buddy. Get some chicken thighs up in here. He knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
They
no.
think they're scratch golfers, but then I see them over in the rough, and then I start believing, hey, maybe
I'm not.
maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, and I could actually play this game. And the more you play it, the better you get.
Sure,
'Cause eventually, you stop trying to hit the holy living crap out of the ball,
Right.
and you start hitting the ball straight and making the smart play like Peyton, and not arguing with yourself over,
Right.
oh, I could have hit that harder. No, you couldn't have. That's why you're off in the weeds. Just hit the ball.
I swing the crap out of the club. I used to. I can't do it anymore. I can't swing the crap out of it. But I used to swing the crap out of the ball just to feel that one pure
One time out of
shot.
18.
Yeah, I remember. Arbitrace, it used to be called something else back in 98, 99. My brother takes me out there, and we're along the cornfield, and it's a big, long par 5. And I ripped it, and it went straight down the fairway. And obviously, my brother was doing this number back then, but now that's my brother.
Yeah.
Hitting it straight. He gets it straight in the fairway every time. Maybe not every time, but
Man,
he's close. Like, what's par? 36? I think he's at like a 39.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, most people on 18 are like 10 over.
Yeah.
You know, so they're hitting it around 80.
Yeah.
And that's coming from
he's
a
in-
professional golfer.
Yeah.
So speaking of someone who's been on the show, Erica Wyckoff.
Yeah, Erica Wyckoff.
I mean,
I've been waiting on you to talk about
so
her.
just an incredible person. And
She live in Noblesville?
south of India. I believe she lives
Like
closer to,
Greenwood?
Greenwood, Martinsville. I'm not sure where she lives, but
You know, I would really love to hear you get Jill Chapman on.
man, I would too.
I wanted to get Jill Chapman on, but I
That would be a
never
lot of
had
fun.
any way of
Hear
getting her on.
Her stories,
And then she just got her jersey retired
yes,
and
thank
got put in
God.
the Hall of Fame.
Good.
Finally.
Yeah,
But I would love to sit down and
Yeah.
talk to her.
she's what an amazing collegiate and professional career.
Yeah, 'cause she played in the WNBA. Yeah.
I guess now they're calling it the W.
The W.
Yeah.
After Caitlin Clark.
No, this
For
is
the win?
not because of Caitlin Clark. Somebody started calling it. It might have been Dawn Staley. She was talking about the W, and they were like, "Wait, are we gonna start calling it the W's?" I think so.
Okay.
Like, all right,
We'll
I
call it
like
the W.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I agree.
Just say
I
the
agree.
W, and
I
we're
just
done.
I long for the day that the WNBA or the W doesn't need money from the NBA to be in business.
Yeah, and I think people forget that the NBA is a long time away from when they were the NBA and the ABA competing
Right.
against two competitors that, Bill Russell won, 11 rings or something,
Yeah.
when there were only like 8 teams in the league.
Yeah. Right.
There's 30
When did they
now or something?
was it in the 70s that they combined?
Yeah. So somewhere in the 70s.
Somewhere in Jerry West would have been the start of it, right? And
Maybe, I don't know.
what's the Lakers owner's name? What was his
I don't know.
name?
The Pacers were an ABA team.
Yeah,
So think about when they weren't ABA anymore, and that's
probably like East West. And the ABA used the brown and white ball, or the red, white, and blue ball.
yeah, red, white, and blue ball.
Where the NBA, maybe the NBA used the brown and white ball, and then the
Something like that.
ABA used the red, white, and blue, like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, I mean they've come a long ways from being in those days, and they were barnstorming, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times they were playing the Harlem Globetrotters to get
Yeah.
a crowd out. So
Yeah.
it's not like they are all this or they have always been. It is a league that has had to build itself up. The W is very similar,
Right.
but only difference is you don't have a competing.
No competitor.
Yeah, the competitor is the foreign leagues
Yeah.
where they're going over there making legit money.
Right.
I just saw something the other day with the dude from the Lakers, Howard, I think is his last name. He's playing over in Taiwan and is like a superstar. Stephen Marbury, you know, gets out of the NBA, goes over there, and they've got statues made of him
Yeah.
over overseas. It's like
Right.
there's a whole nother world out there that's happening that we're not aware of. And,
Right.
you know, Brittany Griner ends up in Russia and ends up in jail due to going there to make some money
Sure.
in the Russian basketball leagues. So, I mean, it's going to happen. It's just, it takes time. It takes interest. It takes,
Yeah.
stars coming through that people that can relate to. And,
And I think they've got a star-studded
Oh,
draft
man.
this year.
oh,
Cameron Brink, Cardosa.
oh man.
Oh man, it's just, and there's girls that I thought should have been drafted,
Mhm.
such as Grace. Is her name Grace? She was number 24 for Iowa.
Oh yeah. I can't think of
I know, just right on the
Having
tip
a
of my
moment.
tongue.
But yeah, I mean, they've only got so many roster spots.
Right,
What they draft? Did they draft 48?
3 rounds, I believe.
So 36.
Right,
I think there's 12 teams.
something like that.
So you don't have very many roster spots, but they're looking to expand that, and they'll expand another team hopefully. And
Yeah, after this year,
Yeah.
with the I mean, you got Angel Reese and
Yeah.
who was the other girl from? I think it was the girl from Sanford that are playing
Oh,
on the same team.
man.
They're going to be amazing together. And then you've got Caitlin Clark, obviously with the big girl that's playing in the WNBA already, who's a veteran.
Yep.
I watched
Number one last year.
I watched some videos of those two practicing, and
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
that's gonna be a great combination there.
yeah, it
So
was. It looks
it's
like
growing.
it's going to be fun.
We didn't have women's basketball until the 70s, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I told you you need to talk to Brenda White.
Yeah, that'd be
Brenda
another-
White going through the GBB, I think
Yep.
is what they called it, girls
She
basketball,
was in
or
the redhead league
yeah,
or something like that.
something. It was something crazy, and I have you can watch it on my BSN. It's still out there.
Have you had her on
Yeah,
there?
I had her
Okay.
on that. I did
Nice.
probably an hour and a half with her, and
Oh wow.
and then afterwards, because her she's related to my sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
Okay.
And so I talked to her after we stopped the recording, and she goes, yeah, I just scratched. She told my brother. She was like, yeah, we just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
She was like, I just gave him a brief overview. She said, I got a ton more that I can say. And I was like, well, let's get back on here. And then we both got busy, and
I'll have to reach out to her. Do you know where she's at?
she's in Gas City.
Is she?
Yeah.
Wow, that's easy.
Yeah,
That's gonna
exactly.
happen.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a good
So-
one to talk to.
I've got plans this year. I've reached out to both mayors. I would love to have both mayors sitting in the room at the same time.
Both mayors.
Hartford City and Montpelier.
Who's the mayor in Montpelier? Because Katie.
Brad Neff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've reached out to both him and Mayor Dan. Both of them are interested in coming on. We're just trying to figure out a time, whether it's one-on-one or,
Yeah.
both of them or
That'd be
whatever. It
good.
doesn't matter to me. I just, the leaders of our county, I'd love to have them in. Man, I've got a lot of folks I've been chatting with, and working up some pretty good things coming.
See, I love listening. I love listening, but I still am a little heartbroken
What?
over I asked you to have me in just to sit with Derek Jones,
Oh, I'm
and you
sorry,
snubbed me on that one.
dude. That was
What a great podcast! Somebody who's hanging out with Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus, and all I ask is just to be sitting in the same room.
I apologize. That was one of those where we were supposed to do it on one day, canceled,
Yeah.
and then he called me up and said, "Hey, what do you think about this time on that day?" And I'm like, "I'll make it happen." And we got together at like 8:30 in the
Yeah.
morning.
I would have missed work.
I mean,
I would have called off. I,
it's work.
I don't care.
We
would've
had
called off.
such a great conversation, and there was so much conversation before we hit record. There was so much great conversation after I hit the stop button.
Yeah.
We were in here as long as we're in here right now, and we've got to be closing in on 3 hours.
No.
Yeah.
We're not. No way. We're 3.
Yeah.
It's only 5 o'clock. I got here at 3, so we're at 2.
Are we?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm only going to see where we're at.
Have you seen? I know you follow him, but have you seen the things that his wife does?
She's awesome.
The
man.
tattoos, plus her salon. I mean, that lady.
She is a true entrepreneur.
She is.
She has that mindset of an entrepreneur. She understands the role of entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And she's able to separate herself away from that. And this is from Derek. I mean,
Yeah, he said it that he attributes most of his success to, and not his success, but his ability to make money
yeah,
off of his.
yeah.
music.
She's a great entrepreneur, and what she's doing, and just continues to find new initiatives. And speaking
Yeah.
of salons, Ashley Beeman.
Ashley Beeman was another story. Good God.
So,
Homeless
yeah,
to successful entrepreneur
killing it, man.
with children of her own.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
Number one podcast of the year for me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's not even
believe it.
close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah. I believe it.
She's
People love that stuff, man.
They-
People love.
and she promoted
success
it. She
stories.
promoted the crap out of it.
Oh, did she?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
Her and
that's
I-
kind of cheating.
No, it's not.
I didn't
Everybody
promote
has,
mine.
everybody has a chance to. I think I reached out to you and said,
You
"Hey,
did.
push us out there once so we can see."
And I got two extra listens.
You did, but it was like immediate.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was just.
I don't have as many friends as I thought I did.
You have 2 friends.
I did 2. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of them are yours.
That's. Let's see.
They're only on there for you.
I want to see how many do you have now?
I see. Look, you had to scroll all the way
I
down.
didn't have to scroll all the way down because it's in the hundreds. There you are. Yeah, you're 113. At that time, you were like 99.
102.
Was you 102?
102.
Okay.
I was at 99, and then I went to 102. So
Yeah.
I got 3.
So
Maybe it was 98. to
now you're at
102.
113.
Hey, look at me.
I mean, it's one of those things where I watched this happen, and it tells me that
What's your? I don't want to know what
it's
your lowest.
bingeable. My what?
What your lowest is?
Oh, my lowest? Well, it's always the new ones that come.
Oh, okay.
But my lowest is my Ancestry show.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that show.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things where,
People don't give a crap about your
you know,
ancestry.
I mean, you're like, it's just me talking.
You know, I found out. Speaking of ancestry, so I did a bunch of. I started to get into ancestry shortly after, or shortly before my grandfather died. I just decided to look it up one day, and I was looking it up on my phone, or maybe I had a laptop at the time. I don't know, and up popped this link to a book at the Fort Wayne Library called the Book of Hurd, Hurd, and I was like, "That's."
Isn't that cool when
Fort Wayne?
those little hints come up to you?
And this lady traced the Hurd family name, which I eventually linked my family, my side of the family, to this book. And she took it all the way back to like 1712.
See, and for us, that history stuff, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, when
I love it. I love history.
you know, I latch on to some different things, you know, that are in here and other things that are in my head. And it's because I like the history of things.
Yes.
Not everybody cares.
No, trust
know?
me.
Not everybody
Trust
cares.
me.
And that's okay.
Nobody else in my house cares. Nobody.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a partner that I work with. We are in a truck together all day long. We talk about different things all day long. 8 to 10 hours a day, we are in together. And I'll tell him something that I recently learned or saw when it comes to history. And he was like, why do you care?